Being a single mom and doing it all by yourself is brutal. Learn the brain and energy tools to get back to your center and overcome your challenges. Welcome to Single Moms Doing It All. This is Muriel Felous, your host. And today we're going to talk about anxiety triggered by the feeling of not enough time. So if we talk about time, first of all, time is a man-made thing. In science, it doesn't even exist. So it's completely created by your relationship to it. So the first thing I would like you to consider is, what is your relationship to it? How do you relate to time? And before we go deeper, there are a few things that I want to remind you of. The first thing is that we have a Facebook group. It's called Single Moms Doing It All. And if you're not a member, this would be a great time to join, because this Friday we're going to be doing a tapping, an emotional freedom technique session about the body reaction to time, your stress related to time. So if you want to take advantage of that, you have to be in the Facebook group. And when you find it, I have a few questions that you need to answer. Please answer them, because I'm qualifying people to join. I don't want any disturbance or people who come here to, there are trolls. I don't know if they're called trolls about Facebook, but people who are not here just to support you and appreciate each other in that group. So I'm trying to be quite selective, because I encourage my members, you, to talk about anything you want to talk regarding your mothering, and without judgment. I want it to be a safe place, to put it short. The second thing is, I don't know if you've heard about that new app called Clubhouse. It is now only available to people who have iPhones and I believe iPads. But I have an account in Clubhouse. And this app is an audio app where we'll be able to converse in what they call a room live. It's not recorded, so if you're here, you enjoy the conversation. It's almost like online networking, audio networking. And I really wanted to try. So this Friday at 7:30 a.m. Pacific time, I'll be live in my room, and I'm under my name, Muriel Felous. I think you can also find me with @coach4, the number 4, moms. And I'll be able to converse with you. We'll interact. We're going to talk about co-parenting with the universe. And what does it mean? And what needs to be there as a foundation. I'll share some tools, and we'll have fun connecting to each other. So join me there if you have an iPhone. Follow me. I think it's followers. The third thing I wanted to ask of you as a favor is, if you haven't done it yet, please go and review this podcast on iTunes. If you love it, if you find value into it, please review it and share it with your friends and anyone you believe would benefit from it. So that's all for the announcement. Let's go back to our relationship to time. When you think about time, what first comes to your mind? Is it your calendar with your to-do lists, like your agenda? Is it thinking about the past or maybe the future? What comes to mind now? Think about time and take note. The other thing is, What's the quality of that relationship? What do you feel in your body? Is it something that is expanded? Because as you know, time isn't real. It's man-made. And Einstein talked about the relativity of time. That means it can expand or it can contract. And based on your relationship with time, you can also have an expansive feeling and a feeling that expands in your body and your muscles are relaxed. It's kind of a feeling good feeling, emotion, or a contracted one. Maybe your relationship with time. I gave 3 choices in my Facebook group this week when I asked about time. The first one was, there is not enough. I have to hurry and multitask. The second one was, no matter what, there is not enough time during the day for everything. And the third one was, I have all the time I need. So where do you position yourself in those choices? Because based on the feeling, the thought you are resonating with, the emotion in your body will be something that is corresponding to that notion. For example, if you picked, I always need to hurry and multitask, it's already kind of stressful. There is an underlying notion of lack. There's not enough time, so I need to contract everything I have to do in that day. I need to hurry and I need to multitask. And that can create anxiety regarding time. The anxiety of maybe being late because there is not enough. So at a certain point, you're going to run out and you maybe won't be able to get to where everything you have to do on time. The other thing that can happen is you're in fear because since you don't have enough time, especially if you picked, no matter what, there is not enough time during the day for everything I have to do, that means some things you won't be able to do them and they're going to fall through the cracks. And that can also trigger a lot of stress, even more than the first choice, because that means that you have stuff that will fall through the cracks, and because you won't have done them, there are consequences. So depending on what consequences, let's say you don't have time to do your taxes, the consequences of not doing your taxes are huge. You don't have enough time to exercise. It's usually one of the first things that gets sacrificed is self-care. So exercising, meditating, eating, like taking time to eat with presence, stuff like that you believe are not mandatory for you to be successful at what you have to do. So that would resonate with fear, and you would constantly, if every day is like that, you would live into fear. That has consequences on your health, on your mental and physical health, both. Because you cannot feel fulfilled if you don't have enough time and you're constantly running after something that you cannot reach. That's extremely dissatisfying. And your relationship with time can also look like not being fully present in the moment and looking backward, looking into your past with the nostalgia of what was, because you feel you didn't enjoy it enough. I hear that from moms. Some moms whose kids are teens and they believe that they didn't enjoy them enough when they were young. Some moms who are empty nesters, and that's even worse because the kids are gone and they didn't feel that they enjoyed it enough. And that gives them a feeling of having missed out on moments. That's not a fun feeling. Or other moms are turned towards the future with fear because they don't know, let's say they don't have enough savings, so they don't know how it's going to play, or they're afraid of whatever it is they're afraid of in their future. And they also live in fear because they have a negative anticipation of the future. Is that you? Where do you fall on that spectrum of relating to time? If the feeling, the emotion in your body earlier when I asked you to think about time wasn't something that is relaxed and enjoyable, chances are you're falling in some of those scenarios, one or more of those scenarios. But don't worry, because if we're talking about something that is not really real, although you're going to say, yeah, Muriel, you say it's not real, but there are 24 hours during the day and not one more. Yes, but your productivity and what you're going to be able to do, or are you going to be able, your quality, the quality of your emotions and you going through your day is going to be completely different depending on how you relate to time. So if you are someone who's constantly running after something, you're not present. And the quality of your days is affected. Regarding time, the best way to make sure that you have enough and that you appreciate your moments is to be present, to start living with mindfulness. If you want to have more time in your life, you need to slow down and be more present. And you may say, I've got all those things to do, and you're asking me to slow down and be present, or you're asking me to maybe work on mindfulness and meditate and take my time and really be in the moment. How do you think it's going to work? I promise you, I'm someone who's extremely busy. And the more I take the time to be present, the better I feel for it. And it's not only me, it's all the people that I've worked with on that matter. And the more quality you infuse your actions and everything you do with. So you're going to be more efficient and you're going to be more productive. I know it sounds paradoxal, but that's the way it is. It's almost like there is such thing as spiritual time. And when you really tap into that power of somehow directing time, not being subject to it, but directing it, being proactive, creating your time. That's what I mean. Creating, being in the place of a creator instead of someone who just reacts, everything changes. So I invite you to try it for a bit. Try it for a week or 2 or 3. And start with trying tomorrow. You don't have to commit to more than what you can conceive now. Because if you are worried about not having enough time and I tell you to slow down, you may be worried that you won't have time to finish everything you need to do. But I invite you to incorporate more presence in your day and see and feel the difference. So right now, to slow down time, I invite you to take 3 deep breaths. So let's do it together. Inhale with the intention of being present, and exhale. You have all the time in the world. Inhale and exhale. And one last one. Inhale with the intention of slowing time down. And exhale. Intend to have more time. And you may know all that. I'm sure you probably know, but you just forget to apply it. And a way to be more present, get more centered, and somehow save time. That means not spending as much if you consider it as a currency. Because if you look at things, it is the most valuable currency that we have. We can get more money. We can recover, heal, get back to health. But the thing that we don't know yet, and maybe this will come, I don't know, we can't get more time. We can't go back in time and get more time. That's not possible today. Maybe in the future it will be. So that's the most valuable currency that you may have. That's why it's so important to appreciate it, to spend it wisely, which brings another point that I did not talk about. Pick what you do and make it as close as you can to what you want to do. I know there are things we have to do and we don't necessarily enjoy them. We don't necessarily want to do them, like doing your taxes, like even sometimes exercise. Some people, I'm not crazy about exercising. When I go to exercise, I really need to focus on the pleasure that I will feel once I will be done, and then it motivates me. The pleasure that I have to fit in my clothes, the pleasure of moving freely in my body, pain-free. And then I want to do it. So train your brain, train your mind to tell the story that you need to tell so that you reach the position of wanting to do almost everything you have to do. Like if you have to do laundry, which is not particularly glorious, not particularly glamorous or enjoyable, focus on things that you love about the fact that you have a washing machine at home, about the fact that you can put on a shirt and smell the good smell of a clean shirt, about the fact that you're going to look good in something that is clean and fresh instead of something that is maybe wrinkled and dirty. It's not the same feeling. So, and instead of telling yourself, I have to do that, which is a lie, because you could very well decide to go everywhere with dirty clothes. You could decide not to brush your teeth. Yeah, there will be consequences, but it is still a choice. You can decide to stop combing your hair, stop doing the dishes. You'll have to eat in dirty dishes, things like that. The reality is that in some countries, people don't even have dishes. People don't even have washing machines, or maybe they don't have clothes either. So the way to enjoy it more is to say, I get to do it. And when you spend your time doing things that you get to do, the feeling is completely different than spending your time doing things you have to do. Can you feel the difference? Say, I have to do, I don't know, pick something. I have to do the dishes. Or I get to do the dishes. And you can even go one level deeper. I get to do the dishes because I have running water. I get to do the dishes because I have dishes. I get to do the dishes because I enjoyed a wonderful meal in that dish and I loved it. And I spend my time doing things I get to do. I'm lucky that way. I'm sure you feel the difference. So now let's go back to expanding time and slowing down. There are things that you can do to feel more present. Like if you go regularly in nature, it's going to recalibrate your body. You're going to be more present, and you can even making going in nature a presence exercise. Noticing each tree, each flower, each bird's singing, etc. Another way of slowing down time in a big way is a mindfulness, and we talked about that. We talked about getting to do things that you do every day in your life, the mundane things. If you add mindfulness to it, it becomes almost a meditation. And meditation is one way of having more time. You slow down, you calm down, you become more present. There are many ways to meditate, and doing everything you do with mindfulness, moving with mindfulness becomes a meditation in movement. Even when you wash the dishes, I will always remember when I was younger, in my 20s, I used to attend a yoga class several times a week. I used to live in Israel at the time, and there was a little house that belonged to someone who was teaching about yoga, but not only the yoga in the form of exercise, but yoga in the sense of what it really means. It means union. So there was the yoga, the exercise part. There was the yoga, the meditation part. There was the yoga in everything you do, feeling united, body, spirit, and mind. It even went down to cooking for your body so you can feel union. And my teacher, who left to live in India when he was 13, and he spent, I think it was 10 or 20 years there, used to always tell us to do the dishes with mindfulness. And then your life can become a meditation. If you do everything with mindfulness, it will calm down your stress, it will expand your time, it will increase your quality of life. Another way to calm down your time, to slow down your time, calm down your nervous system, we just did it. Breathe deeply. And if you want, you can breathe deeply and even hug yourself after that and pet your arm There is a name for it. I can't remember. It doesn't come to mind right now, but there is a name for petting your arms, hugging yourself and petting your arms from shoulder to elbow, because there is a nervous meridian there. And when you do that several times, going down from shoulder to elbow with each hand on each arm, the opposite arm, it calms your nervous system down. So that's something you can do. And we talked about mindfulness. When you do things with mindfulness, when you take care of yourself in that way, like calming yourself down, it's good for your health. You will be more effective and productive at what you do because your attention is on what you do. So you do it better and faster. That's also one of the reasons why you will have more time. And I'm going to finish with something that I also put in the Facebook group this week. At the beginning of the week, I put an affirmation about time because, as you know, affirmations have the power of two things. Rewire your brain. If you do them enough and with emotion, you really feel them. And they will, it's like a thought. An affirmation starts with a thought. Even when you talk, it starts with a thought. And as you know, that part of our brain, which is in one of its role is to manage and manage our awakened moments, like we're not sleeping, and match the outside world with your inner world. Bring coherence between the two. And the way it does that, it's by noticing what you think about, whether it's unconscious or conscious, and showing you in the outside world things that are coherent with what you think about. So if you're constantly thinking about, I don't have enough time, I have to hurry up, you are going to notice on a brain level all the proof of that in the world. And you may even create more urgency because you're so rushing and running that accidents will happen. You're going to drop, some liquid on your computer, on your table, on your clothes. You're going to forget where you put your keys. You may lock your keys in the car, etc., etc. And the other thing is, you will vibrate at that level of urgency and never having enough time. Guess what you're going to encounter? You remember energy alignment, which is what I don't talk too much about manifestation because I feel that it's more like energy alignment. You stop at an energy vibration level, like in an elevator. You stop at a floor and you're being matched with people, situations, and things that are vibrating at that level. So when you vibrate at the floor of urgency and lack of time, you are going to encounter all kinds of situations where you're going to be lacking time and feeling that you run after something that you never catch. So now I'm inviting you to take a few breaths again, close your eyes, and I'm going to give you some affirmations that you can use when you feel hectic. The first affirmation: I have more than enough time to do everything I want and need to do. Breathe in, really feel it in your body. I have more than enough time to do everything I need and want. I have more than enough time to do everything I need and want. Breathe in that truth. Time is on my side. Time is my friend and it's on my side. Time is on my side. I have power over my time and I use it well. I have power over my time and I use it well. I have power over my time and I use it well. All is well in my time. All is well with my day. All is well in my life. So I hope that you could feel the effect of these few affirmations, and you can keep a few that you will take as a tool in your tool belt when you feel rushed to calm your nervous system down. If you need more, remember to join us in the Facebook group. Friday, you can attend live or you can do it on replay to do EFT tapping on time. If you don't know what EFT is, I'll put a link in this podcast in the description of my introduction to tapping video so you can get a little bit of information about it. I wish you to have all the time in the world to enjoy your life and to fill your days with peace and love. Bye for now. If you like this podcast, please review and rate it on iTunes and share it with your friends.